Hey Archons, what's going on? It is time for some 3-deck Sealed Alliance practice. This is actually one of my favorite things to do, not only because I get to open 3 decks and look at them, but actually because I love the way that you analyze and get to utilize some analytical aspects. So for those of you who don't know my process on this, I have a notepad ready with a pen, and I open the 3 decks. I do not look at the decks as a whole. I just separate the pods and write them out. But I'm actually going to do it as I go here. So it's going to go pod by pod, get them all ready to go. And the idea is not to think of everything as a singular unit, as in 3 decks, but more so you kind of just go one by one into them, pod by pod, and you see what it's bringing to the table. First deck up, we have a token of fish, and then we have Unfathomable, Dinos, and Star Alliance. So I'm just going to note all these down bit by bit. Let's get it going. We're going to try and do this fast. So usually it takes actually 30 minutes to really go through this. I'm going to see if I can boost the speed on this. So all I really need to know is the tokens I have. So we have a fish token, and then we go boom. So first up we have an Unfathomable pod, and that's all this is going to be written down as, Unfathomable 1, in case we have more than one. And so the categories we have here is creature count, ember pips, ember control, board control. Those are really, you can go just off those. You can go efficiency and disruption, and then token generation. Those are really all the numbers you want to kind of look at and see how things work. So first off, we're going to go with just the fish house. That's all I'm going to go one by one. Let's go. So we got creature count. Oh, it's a little hot. There we go. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we got 10 creatures. Pips, we have 1, 2 pips. Ember control 1. Oh, that's interesting. So we got 1. This is actually a really good synergy with fish. So there's only 1 there for ember control. Board control, that's where things are going to heat up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tech. I know 6. It's still 6. And then efficiency, there is no efficiency in here, but we did have a ton of disruption. So there is 1, 2, 3 disruption cards. Token generation 1, 2. Okay, 2 token generation. So that's 1 pod down. And then next we have Star Alliance 1. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 creatures. Pips, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pips. Ember control, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ember control. Board control, we have 1, 2. Efficiency 1 efficiency, 0 disruption. And then token making, we have 1 token making card. Okay, and that's 0. Now I forgot this guy. Sorry, there is 2 efficiency. All right, so we take this out, throw that down over here. And then we have now Dino 1. creatures, we got 1, 2, 3. 3 creatures only. Ember pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 ember pips. So that's something. Ember control, what do we have? 1, 2, 2. Board control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Efficiency, we got in the form of draw pips. It's 1, 2, 3, 3. Disruption, there is no disruption. Token generation, here we go. So we have 1, 2 token generating cards. And then you could do things like this. So things that really stood out to me here was the fact that there's epic poem with inspiring oration. So you may want to actually put a note next to this house that it has that, because that makes me interested in this, and it's got a lot of pips. So you can make little notes next to it as well if that you feel would be handy. So that is deck 1, all mapped out. So we're at 6 minutes for the first one, which is pretty good. All right. Next one is a strange shell deck. So this is my first actually strange shell. I actually like the houses in this. That instantly makes this, I don't know, a meme. So cannot fight or reap, put strange shell in your hand. So it's just, it's efficiency. So it instantly makes it efficiency. So throw that in our token pile, and then let's just go. So here we go. First up, Star Alliance 2. So I'm actually just going to put these decks over like this so we know 1, 2, and 3. So creature count. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you got an FOF transponder. You'll love to see it. So that's 7 creatures. Ember pips. We have 1, 2, 3. 3 ember pips. Ember control. We have, trying to go fast here, 1. Board control. We have 1, 2, 3. I count Tactical Officer Moon as board control because it allows you to rearrange things to maybe be more beneficial for you destroying it. So you are controlling a board to a degree, maybe not hard removal, but it's board control. So there we got the 3 cards there. Efficiency, we got nice efficiency here. 1, then 2, 3. This is I kind of count this one. So 3.5, 4. We'll just call it 4. Disruption. FOF transponder, I consider a disruption card. I don't know if I would note it down quite that way, but it is kind of disruptive to have it on the field because your opponent really has to figure out how to deal with it. Token gen. 1, 2, 3. What does this guy do again? Oh yes, 3, 4. So we got 4 token gen. So that is Star Alliance 2. In fact, I'm actually just going to label everything 2 from each pod so I know which deck it came from. Oh, and right off the top, we got a little Mavi action here. So we're going Mars. So this is going to be Mars 2 just because it's from deck 2. It's going to make it easier for figuring how things go. So we got creature count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. All right. Then we have Ember Pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Ember Pips. Ember Control. We have 1. I love this card. 2. 2. Sorry, I need to actually kind of look through. There's some cards here that I haven't seen very often, so I don't feel very, like Zizok, I'm not very familiar with. After an enemy creature is destroyed by Zizok, splash attack damage, ready Zizok. Okay, that's pretty cool. Martians. Reveal your hand, purge each revealed non-Mars creature, and gain 1 for each card purged this way. Okay, interesting. Discard a creature from your hand if you do gain 1. Interesting. Okay, that's super interesting. Board control, we got 1, 2, 3, basically. 3, 4, 4. Efficiency, I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4. Feeding pits count for sure. Disruption, no disruption. Token gen, we have 1. Just the 1. Okay, 1 token gen. This is a cool pod, actually. It intrigues me for interest of playing. I don't know if how viable it is in the grand scheme of things, because I haven't finished evaluating. And then lastly, we go on to Equidon 2. So creature counts. Oh, I've been really wanting these. So I'm actually liking this Equidon pod just because I've been wanting to play the Shizuku things and all these different things here. So creatures, we got 1, 2. Oh, really cool. 3, 4. 4. Okay. This is such a cool Equidon. Like, I have to take a moment here. This is so cool. I don't know how good this is, but like, I would love to play this. Like, between the Puzzling Trickens, Token of Appreciation, Mollusk Collars, and Conductor Jiroka, like, to put the insurance policy. That would be so cool. After ready each friendly buggy artifact. And what is this one? Reveal 2 cards from your hand. If they share a house, discard them and make a token creature. Lose 1. If you do, draw 3. I love that. Destroy a friendly creature. If you do, gain 2. I love it. Like, this is super cool. So next up we have Ember Pips. So we got 1, 2, 2. So the truth is, a lot of the pips went on the other houses, so they got the boon of the Ember Pips and whatnot, which is interesting. Mars particularly. Then Ember Control. One. Oh, that's cool. So just 1 Ember Control. So it's lacking the Ember Control. Board Control. I don't think there's 1. Efficiency, there is 1. No, it's just reveal from your hand if they do discard. Yeah, no, this is accounts because you're going to draw more. 1, 2. Oh, I'm liking this. 2, 3. So there's 3 efficiency because of the buggy thing. Disruption, I would say there is disruption here, like an insurance policy. We'll say just 1, but I think you could count some of these others as those disruptors. 1, 2, 3, 3. I really like this. Like, I mean, I don't know how good this is, but I really like it. All right. Moving on to the last one. So playing that pod would basically be going from having a fun sealed event to having a sealed event that I would like to play. And lastly, we have Brobnar Star Alliance and Unfoundable. And we have the Grumpus token. Okay, so we'll keep on with the same formula we've been doing. Here's the token, and then we will look at Unfoundable 3 first. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay. So we got 5 creatures, Ember Pips. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Ember Pips, Ember Control. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Board Control. I don't think there's any. We'll call this 1, 2, 3 with Corrode. Efficiency. There is no efficiency. Disruption. Quite a bit of disruption. So, I mean, that's cool. Disruption. There is 1, 2 disruptions, I would say. And then token gen, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 token gen. So that's really nice. If you got a token you really want to make, this pod is definitely in consideration just for that aspect alone. And then we go to Star Alliance 3. Creature count, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ember Control, we got 1, 2, 3, 3. Sorry, to Ember Control 3, we have to do pips. I forgot to do those. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pips. Board Control, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 board control. Efficiency. I mean, you could. No, that's definitely not it. 1, 2. Disruption 2 just for these 2 cards. I think Trustwander is a disruptor. It's really interesting right now. I'm kind of starting to see how I want this to come together in terms of token selection, but I haven't fully gotten there yet. Token generation is 1, 2 token generation. All right. That is Star Alliance 3. And then we got Brobnar. 3 is creatures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I can tell you right now that there's a strong candidacy for Grumpus and the Double Brick Nasty. That instantly is something that is so strong, I can't ignore it. It has to be a pod almost. And token decision, which means the Equidon house will probably not be used just because the Strange Shell can't be coming into effect. Let me go Ember Pips. 1, 2, 3, 4 Ember Pips. Ember Control. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Ember Control. Board Control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Yeah, this is a really strong pod. Efficiency, I mean, Might Club you could count as 1. Disruption 0. Token gen, we got 1. Just 1 token gen, so you need token gen from somewhere else. Okay, there we go. That's all of it. So after I come up to it, this is what I'm left with. A little chart that gives me all the numbers from everything. And then what I'm going to do now is just circle the highest thing in each one. So I go usually top 3. And so that's all I'm going to do here. You can do top 2 even, whatever you want to do. 6. And 4 is next. Board control 6. 5. Efficiency 4 is the highest, and then 3. Disruption 3 is the highest. token gen 4 and 5. Okay, so then you're left with basically, if you can see this, a chart. Oh wait, what am I doing? Why am I showing it there? So after it's all said and done, I have all these circles here, and I can kind of, what you basically get is you can see which pod has the most circles. And then that kind of helps you decide where you want to go. So depending on the things you want, so there's no more than 3 seems to be the highest one. So based on that, I can make decisions. So right now, I want to go for, you can choose what you need. So what do you need? I need like Ember control, good Ember control. So I need good token generation for my Brobner as well. Right now I know the dinos, I actually kind of just going to go on a feeling here. So I'm going to choose the dino pod because of the fact it has lots of board control, it has good pips on it, creates tokens for me, which I need. I'm going to go with the Brobnar because I do love me a good double brick nasty. And I think it's very well rounded. I liked all the stats on that. And then lastly, the one that I think I want to go with is the Star Alliance from, no, not Star Alliance. The Unfathomable from this one. It has so much, okay, the way it can vomit out tokens, I think could be very powerful, and it has Ember control, and it has some artifact removal there. I just think these 3 are going to play super nicely together. And oddly enough, 2 of the 3 are from the same place. Another consideration, so one thing I might decide to switch out is to choose this Mars. It has a lot of Ember pips ready. It creates stuff. I think it's very disruptive. The fact that you can do this, discard creature cards from your hand. If you do gain 1, get rid of things that aren't too important. But I mean, my creature count going this route would be, so that's what, 13 plus 3, so that's only 15 creatures. So I could go for a very high creature count, get rid of this one, and go for a higher creature count with the Star Alliance from here because it has good Ember control, or the Unfathomable because there's so many creatures in there, and it has good board control. Actually, you know what? I don't like that pod. This is where you kind of start tinkering and figure out what you like. And here it's really a preference. You're just looking for what you like. I'm not actually sure which way I would go. I do think the Unfathomable, it gives a good balance, but this Mars is definitely up for consideration. But yeah, I'm going to stick with my first instinct, which was these 3. I think it has the right balance of creatures. Yeah, I mean, you could go this with, get rid of this and go Mars as well, but I just like the way this is going to all come together. I think it's going to give me what I want. Good token gen. Between it, there is 5, 6, 7, 8 token generating cards. If I went for Star Alliance 2 here, this would be the other one where I could get, there'd be a large number of creatures and would be well balanced. This is another consideration, and the FOF. In fact, having the FOF transponder I think makes more sense. So I might actually swap this out and go like this potentially. There's actually a lot of room for decision making here, but the FOF transponder with all this makes sense because then you got 7 creatures, so that's 14 plus the dinos, that makes it 17. Really good, solid Ember pips, sort of. Actually, no, 7, 10, 14. Yeah, these aren't bad numbers. Everything's solid. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm going with. Those 3. It's going to give me what I want: efficiency, find what I want, dig for the brick nasties, and make everything work. So that's my process for choosing Sealed Alliance. Really, the end decision is up to you. This just gives you the information to be more informed when making that decision. So I hope you enjoyed this. And as always, may your Ember never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.